Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another review. I have been working so hard to put up more reviews this year. I feel like this month I've had just so much. I used to hardly do reviews and I just would be backed up so much on makeup I needed to give my opinions about. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the reviews. I know sometimes they don't get the most views, but I do enjoy making them and having my opinion out there. So today we are going to be reviewing the new foundation from Huda Beauty. So this is their new and improved Fauxfilter foundation. I also have the OG because you guys may or may not know that this was a favorite of mine for full coverage, one of my most coverage foundations. But the only thing with this one is I got so annoyed with the smell of it, and a lot of people kind of complained about it because it's too heavy and cakey on them. For me, I really liked it because I love a good full coverage. I don't get bothered by heavy makeup, but I noticed now my skin has cleared up a bit more. I have been liking a little bit less coverage because I feel like it does flatter the skin a bit more. So yes, I'm going to be testing out these one side with... Whoa, I just flew the lid off. Anyways, one side will be the old formula and one side will be the new formula on my face, and we'll do a wear test and see how they wear. The old formula is called Fauxfilter High Coverage Cream Foundation and the new one is called Fauxfilter Luminous Matte. They're both described as a full coverage foundation, and essentially the bottles, they look the same. I don't know if there's any difference in the bottles. Sorry, mine doesn't have the lid, but it's pretty much the exact same. I got the exact same color as well that I'm in my Huda shade. So with this new one, it's supposed to be fragrance free, which is a huge deal. I really hope, Huda, if you guys are watching this, please make a fragrance free powder because that powder is so good for oily skin. Their Fauxfilter, I think it's called. Please make a fragrance-free version. I'd be so excited. And this is going to be a mask-proof, full coverage, all-day wear type of foundation, kind of similar to the old formula. And this is going for $48, which I believe the old formula is also $40. So that's kind of an intro into the new foundation. Let's go ahead and apply this to the skin. So first step, I am going to go ahead and apply a primer. I'm just going to use this all over the face. It's the one I've currently been using and loving, the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I just love how this makes my skin look. So it seems to work with all my foundations. It just really smooths everything out and it really holds onto my foundation. So we're just gonna apply this all over the face. It has a kind of a little bit of a sweet smell to it. I feel like it smells like banana. Some people think it smells like marshmallow because of the name, but I don't know. I just get a nice sweet light banana scent from it. But yeah, this really makes my skin feel so smooth. Gives me a little bit of hydration, but I feel like every time I use this primer, my foundation stays on for longer than usual and doesn't get super oily, which is good. Alright, so I got my old Huda and my new Huda foundation. One side is going to be old, one's going to be new. So we'll start with the old formula. This is a favorite of mine. The only thing that really bothered me was actually the scent of it, so I'm glad that they kind of redid it, but I'm curious to see how different the formula is going to be because there is some changes that she made. And I have two new foundation brushes to use as well so we don't get confused or use anything that already has foundation on it. So we'll go in with the old formula first. About a pump and a little bit extra. I guess I didn't need that much because we're only covering half the face today, so I might have to put a little bit on my hand. Alright, so we'll do... this side will be the old formula. And I got the same shade in both of them as well. As you can see, the coverage is just insane on this foundation, which is why I really love it. Because I am more of a full coverage girl because I have blemishes, acne prone skin, redness to cover up. So I always like a good full coverage. Although lately I have been enjoying a little bit of a medium coverage, a more natural finish, that my skin's been more clear. But anytime I'm struggling with my breakouts and stuff, I always like full coverage because then I feel like I don't have to go in with so much concealer. So that's how that side looks. It gives me a nice satin finish too. It's not super dewy. I think the new one is described as more luminous because it's called a luminous matte because a lot of other people don't really care for the matte full coverage that the original gives, but I liked it, so I don't know. Okay, So we got the new one. Hopefully the colors match up well. Okay, I can definitely tell a difference right away. There seems to be a color difference as well because this one seems actually a little bit darker. And it's definitely not quite as thick as the original. Like the original can be a little bit harder to blend because it is a thicker foundation. So it does take more blending, but this one isn't really needing that. And it seems like the coverage is still good, but maybe it's a little bit less than the original. All right, so here we go. I will say though, the original, it doesn't look as nice. It maybe gives a little bit more of a blurred effect, but I can see more of my pores with the original than with this new one. So I think the new one actually hides my pores as like a little bit better, and that might be because the original can be a little bit more cakey. Sometimes it helps to turn the brightness down. You guys can really see how it looks. But there is a difference. The biggest difference on first application is definitely original, more coverage. Original is thicker in the consistency. The new one, it seems more medium to full, while the original is definitely full coverage. But I feel like my skin does look a little bit better with the new one, but actually the old one gives it a more shiny look, which is kind of weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. All right, so here is the makeup look I decided to do today. If you have any questions about what I'm wearing, I'll have it linked down below. But once I got like all my powder on and stuff, I did use my Patrick Star One Size Blurring Powder, which I always use. It does look pretty similar, so the colors seem to match up. Both sides don't look too crazy. The only thing I'm noticing still, my texture and pores definitely stand out more on this side, which is very interesting. And over here, I feel like they are pretty blurred and they look pretty normal. So yeah, that's the main difference in my opinion. I also feel like this side's settling more into my fine lines with the old formula. And I like this one, I don't mind it, but now I'm kind of realizing that maybe it isn't the most flattering, but I just love the coverage it gives. So very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and wear this and I'll update you guys how it's looking and see how oily I get with each side. So next clip, you'll see me in a few hours. Okay guys, I'm back and I want to do my just final check-in, my thoughts on the foundations. I'm in a different location because I filmed a PR haul in here, so I figured I would just stay in this location. But looking at the foundations, I feel like they look very, very similar. Like, I don't notice a huge difference once I've kind of been wearing it. I did notice a few differences right away when I applied the foundation, like first impression, right after. But now that they've kind of sat on the skin, I feel like they actually look pretty similar. I do notice me getting more oily on this side of my face. It's just a little bit. It's not like a ton of difference, but I can see it. Which I did like the original Huda because I feel like it kept my oils more at bay. But yeah, the Luminous one definitely is a little bit more dewy as I'm wearing it. I still have a little bit of shine here with the original, like up here, a little bit on my nose, but I just noticed it kind of all over on this side. But the differences are very slight. Otherwise they look pretty similar. The colors don't look too off once everything is settled in. I feel like you can definitely go ahead and get the same shade if you guys are wanting to try this one. Let me go ahead and put some powder on and see what I think then. Alright, so here's how it looks with powder. Overall, I will say, I do think that the new formula is going to be like slightly better, because I do notice a little bit more of a smooth effect, while the old formula, I feel like it does get a little bit cakey. It gathers onto dryness, which a lot of people didn't like from that. So I think they did improve that a little bit. But overall, I don't think it's much different, which is good for me because I really did like the original formula. But I can see the slight things that do make my skin look just a little bit better using this upgraded formula. And I do feel like it's actually staying on better. Like, I just scratched my nose and my original one literally just like came off my nose, and this one has stayed pretty well. I feel like it is more budge proof but just by a little bit. These differences are very slight. It's not like a huge thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely going to go ahead and just completely switch over to this new one, probably declutter my old one, because I do like this a bit more. I feel like it still works well for oily skin, although I did get a bit greasy with the Luminous effect, but once I powder, I feel like it looks really good and it does stay on. It didn't like move my foundation at all. So I do like this a little bit better than the original. Plus with the no fragrance, that's definitely a huge bonus that I like as well. That original just is so strongly scented, like very floral, and not a huge fan. So this is awesome that they were able to make this fragrance free. So those are my thoughts. I hope this was helpful. I feel like there was just like very slight differences, so there wasn't like a ton of updates that they made to the formula. It's very similar. If you guys do like the older one, you might still like this one as well, because I do. And I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.